The fog is thick around Princeton this morning, blurring the distinction between the ground and the sky and obscuring the mountains that we so love to see.
When I was in school, one of the things we enjoyed most about the week was getting the Weekly Reader magazine, or newspaper as they called it, and we would read through it. And one of the great features of it was that there was a close-up picture that we should guess on and try to figure out what it was, and the teacher would reveal later on to the whole class. That kind of made an impression on me. One of those puzzling aspects I remember was a pine cone, and we guessed and guessed to try to get that pine cone right, and missed. The power of suggestion is very great. Looks like Saturn's rings. Or not. It's the ceiling, really. Advent Christians have long pointed toward Jesus' teachings about the second coming and the signs of the times, such as in Matthew 24, verse 6. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these things are the beginning of birth pains. The distinction between the signs of the times, the beginning of birth pains, and the end of the times when Christ coming is right at the doorstep is difficult to distinguish, kind of like the difference between the sky and the earth when there's a lot of fog. And we're in a lot of fog right now in 2020, and it's tempting to make pronouncements even though we can't see the whole landscape. There's a bit of caution as we look to things in determining what the signs are, but there is no doubt that Christ is coming soon. And really Matthew 24 and Jesus teaching his disciples was because they got distracted and were looking around. Listen, as we often omit the first part of the chapter, but it gives the proper context, because we don't want to be distracted looking around at the wrong thing. Jesus left the temple and was walking away when the disciples came up to him to call his attention to its buildings. Do you see all these things? He asked. I tell you the truth. Not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down. And so Jesus called their attention away from the buildings and put the focus back on Jesus. That really helps clarify through the fog as we look for his second coming.